What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again, and welcome back to Arca Scans, where we go over this week's potential movers directly from my scanner. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so we are looking at ticker symbol DD for DuPont de Numerous or de Nemours. I can't even pronounce that right, but I will let you correct me in the comments. You guys, please go ahead and notice here that we have a setup coming up. First of all, I have noticed that we have a pretty good setup here on the 12-hour time frame of volatility versus momentum. So you are looking at, let's go ahead and just show it just like this, right? I'm gonna put it up just like that so that you can see this in a wider perspective, right? Let's come on. There we go. All right, now go ahead and notice here that I have these vertical lines, right? So they represent iterations where the upside has been correct, right? So please notice here that we're starting to get that first little uptick of volatility here. Remember, volatility is direction neutral, and we're also getting an upside pivot from the stochastic momentum oscillator. So as soon as we do have the spectrum line of the volatility, which is the volatility component itself, as soon as we have it beyond the 15% alongside the moving average as well pivoted to the upside, then that would actually initiate a pretty substantial move. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right now, you guys, is because I do believe that there is a setup coming up. Please notice here 10 iterations total, of which 2 were guessed incorrectly to the downside. So, I don't have the time to actually put together a huge backtest here for one ticker that we're gonna look at, right? But the probabilities are already looking pretty good. So let's take a note of a few other things, okay? As I tried to leave this as raw as I could so that we can kind of go over this together, right? So right away, I can actually see that we are in the process of breaking out of this broadening descending wedge, right? So this wedge is actually particular to bear market cycles, and now this is actually showing some promise. It may be trading on another time frame, but so we're actually making that golden rule of 3 pretty nicely right now. That's test number 1 of the resistance to test number 3. We have test number 4 here that actually came down to that capitulation, right? And now we're getting ready to break out of the wedge on test number 5. Test number 4 and 5 are usually the true tests. After that, we have to kind of like look at the charts and look at momentum to see what's happening. Okay, so now on the 12-hour time frame, please notice as well that we do have an upside pivot and increasing bull pressure here on the MACD. So this is looking mighty strong. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get out of this. Get out of this, and let's look at now the immediate short-term time frame. Please remember that my criteria usually consists of the 30-minute time frame downside pivot, hourly downside pivot on momentum. We want to start seeing either an upside or consolidation on the bi-hourly. We want upside on the 4, 6, and 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our momentum, which is going to be this down here, right? Let's just go ahead and put it up just a little bit so that we can see, right? Let's go ahead and see the 30-minute. We want a downside. Okay, let's see. Any day now. There we go. All right, so we're getting a downside pivot, just like we were talking about on the immediate short-term time frame, right? So that's already a good sign. Let's go ahead and look at the hourly and the bi-hourly. Okay, we're getting a little bit of weakness here as well. Let's look at the bi-hourly to see what we have. Okay, either consolidation or upside pivot, arguably kind of a little bit of both, right? And now let's look at the 4-hour. So the 4-hour time frame is actually showing an upside pivot, very strong, just like the way we want it in our criteria, right? We're also expanding from critical volatility with an upside pivot here, suggesting that there is more volume coming into the asset. Okay, another thing that we do have right here is actually sitting at 25% ADX, and this is actual DMI support starting from the 4-hour. Okay, this is a very good sign. MACD pointed to the upside, getting a bullish cross above the MACD signal. Let's look at the 6-hour. So 6-hour time frame upside pivot, just like we were talking about, right? We're getting that upside tick beyond the 15 percentile of volatility with an upside pivot. That means increasing volatility as well. Upside pivot on the MACD, and we're definitely increasing the ADX for trending market for bulls, right? The bulls are definitely leading the way, and stochastic momentum versus money flow index is actually showing its first little blue bar right over here. So that means that the disbursement of returns, inbound cash, is on its way. So this is showing some very, very promising results in the coming days, guys. Okay, so now the 8-hour time frame, of course, we got that upside pivot on stochastic momentum, expanding volatility. That's very good. Upside pivot on that MACD, and we absolutely have DMI support as well. Actually, I would like this to be, closer to the 25%. It's already at 21.67. It's not bad. It's fair. We have an upside pivot on the bears, on the bulls, sorry, and this looks like it's definitely continuing. Okay, so we already saw the 12-hour time frame with that upside pivot, everything that we wanted, and now the daily time frame is essentially the time frame that's going to show us the downside. This is from its previous cycle. Okay, so now the shorter time frames are going to start influencing the upper time frames little by little. Okay, so that's essentially what we want to look for. So momentum is actually moving on this. Okay, so let's see what the entry or because remember, we're doing paper trades here, right? So we're gonna just go ahead and see what we can do as far as position entry, right? So let's look at our the averages, right? So it looks like we have a little bit of an opportunity coming up, just like we said earlier, right? So it's very curious that the SMA 100 would land right at the resistance of our broadening descending wedge, right? So very likely we can face a pullback here, and I'm not sure that we can reach all the way down to the area of $67 flat, but it's a very strong possibility, right? So in the event to where that could be one of the zones, we're going to go ahead and make that a range instead. Okay, so 67 to the bottom side of, let's see, wow, all of those are actually pretty confluent signals. So let me, I actually do think 67 to 66.85 could be a zone, but I'm going to pitch this slightly to the upside to favor a few other candles. Let's see. Okay, so I think it would be wise for us to favor this bottom side of this candle here, very close to this candle right over here as well. So this range would be 67.08 to 66.85 as one of the potential long entries for our paper trade, right, for our training session. All right, so now let's go ahead and see what else we can have in store for this. Okay, so if we were to kind of guess this, the SMA 50 is landing right at the closing of this candle here and the wick low of this candle here. So that gives us another range considering these candles here with the wicks, right? And this one here. So let's go ahead and make that a second area for a range, right? So please remember that these are not back tested. What I'm practicing here is absolutely discretionary, and I would suggest for you to do your own DD and make sure that you have a reason to long an asset even when we're paper trading, okay? So now I want to take into consideration geometrics, right? So we're going to take geometrics from the current swing high to the overall swing low of this formation that we're currently in, right? So let's see. Very curious that we have our discretionary target. We have that golden mean, the knot 618 at 66.04, smack right in the middle of this area. Very, very good. Okay, you guys. So now in taking into consideration, let's see. Taking into consideration a broader perspective, then I can actually do that, right? So we can actually take that high all the way to the swing low and see where we have this sitting. Okay, very, very curious. So this the first zone of entry that we were looking at, 66.85 to 67.08, that's landing right. It's right above the knot 382. But what's special about this is between the knot 382 and the knot 618 is the golden pocket. So this is a very bullish area to be in, and it would suggest a catapult to the upside as well. Okay, so right away I can actually see some resistance landing at the SMA 200 on a 12-hour time frame. This gives us a resistance range because we have the 1.618 golden mean at 71.31. Okay, so that would naturally we have to kind of draw that in, right? Just like from the SMA 200 to the 1.618, and that would be right around there, right? Giving us that target of about 70.87 to 71.31. Let's measure this. Let's see where we're going. Okay, so let's just say that we were to catch entry from the not 618 at 6604, right? So making a move all the way up to the one spot 618 would put us at about an 8% gainer. And of course, 8% gainer on a $67 asset right now, that's pretty, it's pretty nice. It's pretty substantial. Okay, you guys. So especially if there's an options chain on this, oof, that can definitely give us some winners here. Okay, you guys. So let's now take a look at a potential lower target. So let's go to the 30-minute time frame to see how far of a resistance we have, right? So particularly to actually, let's see this, we have support on the RSI. So those targets that I actually am giving right now, they may not, the price action may not go any lower than that, right? But we can put one more zone, and I do think I can favor the not 382 in the shorter time frame fib. Okay, so let's do this right here and get rid of all of the indicators, right, so that we can have some more space to see, get our averages out of the way, and suggest the 382. Okay, so that would be, I definitely like it. Okay, so let's put it together like this. Okay, so the not 382 at 6480. Let's see if we can, okay, so then and then we'll put that all the way to the support touch of the very close to the not 236 at 6403, right, considering the wick low of this candle, the wick low of this candle here, the closing of this candle, several areas of confluence there. Okay, so now if we were to actually now that the price would actually increase drastically here, so if we were to consider position at the not 382, that's a clean 10% move to the upside on this asset. That would be incredible news. Okay, so now since we are, remember volatility, okay, check this out. Remember, volatility is actually suggesting increase in volatility and momentum to the upside. That means that we could be, in essence, in a reversion, in a mean reversion, right? So let's look at where that mean reversion could be. Okay, so right away we can see that it's coming in around our targets that we're already suggesting, right? So we're mean reverting right now. We could face the bounce from that area of the mean. If not, then please notice, and you know what, I can actually make this very clear here, right? So let me get the mean reversion clouds to be outlined, right? So let me see, just like this and just like that, and please notice here that the bottom side of our reversion, or the reversion variant, my algo, is right at the target that we were talking about at the not 382. Okay, so that's very curious. And we're also due to retrace because these are the Bollinger Bands within the mean reversion, okay? So notice that the Bollinger Bands are also directly in line with the SMA 100. This line right over here, right? We can make it a little thicker just so that we can see that one right there, okay? Look how dead on it is alongside our resistance. So heavy resistance coming up, very likely for us to come back down and start our positions, right? So this is very nice, you guys. I definitely like what's happening here. Please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, okay? I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, you guys, you know what? One more thing here. Please notice that the mean reversion, please notice that the mean band of the Gaussian channel 12-hour is also within some of the targets that we're looking at, right? Also notice here that the bottom side of the Gaussian channel is right near that not 618 as well. Okay, so a lot is kind of rhyming within this area here. Now, if we go into the buy daily, maybe even we can see some deeper price action there. No, still actually, and it's turning red. So that means that we may actually get a reversion first, and then we can actually reclaim the inside of this of the Gaussian channel, right? So we're right at the resistance of the mean band right over here. Okay, you guys. So there is absolutely something to kind of look at for this. Okay, just please remember to always respect your risk management. Okay. And now the weekly time frame Gaussian channel is suggesting a drop to near that not 618 at 6604. In this case, it is going right to the bottom side of our second target of 6584. So this can actually give us several opportunities to look at for position entry in our paper trade, right, you guys? So all right, you guys. So I think this is a pretty good place to leave off the video. If you have any questions, you know what to do. My contact information is all in the description below. Okay, you guys. But with that said, I wish you well a very, very good long weekend. Please remember that the trade is going to open up again on Tuesday. Okay, so with that said, I wish you well a very, very good weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on that Tuesday. Adios.